Okay, so sit yourself on your left. Hopefully you should be able to see me better today. All my batteries had run out on my video light, so you'll be able to see a little better today, hopefully. So just sit yourself on your left, and then just wiggle about to make sure that you're sitting evenly. Hold onto your knees, and then lift and open the chest. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears, lifting the front chest, drawing the back chest down. Just look at the floor, look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Soften the jaw, soften the tongue. Just listen to the sound of the breath as it enters, as it fills the lungs, and as it exits. Just looking at something that doesn't move on the floor. And then release your knees. Bring your hands into Namaste. Make space by keeping Namaste away from the chest. So not clamping in, but bringing the hands away from the chest. Lengthening from the armpits into the elbows. Elbows into the heels of the hands. The heels of the hands up into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. And empty the lungs from the top to the bottom. Draw your attention into the action of the breath. And with an exhalation, draw your chin forwards and down to meet the chest. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance as you release the backs of the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open. Just hold onto your knees, lift and open the chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a good, strong, deep inhalation in through the nose. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing the abdomen across, just observing the physical sensations of turning and not overdoing it if there are issues, but just feel that there's an awakening of the spine as you turn. Turning the spine really helps to clean out the blood. So turn the abdomen first, and then the ribs, and then the shoulders, keeping the neck just entirely soft. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift, open the chest, drive the chest upwards, and then turn to the left. Just observe the counter pose to the previous sensation. Turning from the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders. Keeping the neck soft. And then gently come back to the center. Just hold onto your knees and then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just feel the back of the neck lengthen out. Draw the trapezius muscle away from the back of the neck. And breathe, take a few deep inhalations, a few deep exhalations, and then drive the chin up to face the ceiling so that the front of the chin stretches. Continuing to breathe, driving the chin up towards the ceiling. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest, lengthening the trapezius muscle away from the back of the neck, lengthening the back of the neck. Drawing the shoulders away from the ears, and then raise your chin up to reach the ceiling. And then bring the chin back to just the center, and then stretch your right ear down towards your right shoulder, but keep the shoulders away from your ears at the same time. It's just nice and gently lengthening from the left ear down to the left shoulder, and then come back to the center, and then lengthen the left ear to the left shoulder, keeping the right shoulder where it is and lengthening from the right ear down into the right shoulder. And then come back to the center just one more time, right ear to right shoulder, lengthening this left ear away from the shoulder, or lengthening the shoulder away from this left ear. So really feeling that stretch along the neck. And then come back to the center, and then left ear to left shoulder, just stretching out the neck. And then come back to the center, and then just one more time, draw the chin down to meet the chest. Just fill the lungs fully, evenly from the bottom to the top. Empty the lungs from top to the bottom. And then just bring the head back level. Just turn to the right side just one more time. Just feeling how the turn feels different. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift, open the chest, and then come back to the left. Just observing the difference in the feeling of the turn. Maybe there's less resistance, maybe there's more. Just observe. Keep the chin just level, keep the neck soft. And then just gently come back to the center. Just stretch your fingers down towards the ceiling, down towards the floor, and then lengthen the chin and lengthen the ears up towards the ceiling. So you just lengthen out the neck. Lengthen from the shoulders into the fingers. Lengthening the neck up towards the ceiling. And then release. Just come off your lift and then sit back on your heels. Just let the legs adjust into Virasana. Press the shins consciously into the mat so that the thighs come to life. Lift and open the chest, drawing the shoulders down away from your ears. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips. Just wriggling into the hips, wriggling into the seat bones, and then stretch forwards, and then bring the forehead down. So observe where there is resistance. And push the out breath into that region. Just breathing evenly and deeply. And then come up onto all fours, turn your toes under. Keep your knees bent as you come up into dog down. And then straighten the legs, tilting the seat bones upwards, drawing the shoulder blades in. Let the neck be soft. So work with udanic breaths. So it's, an udanic breath is in the sinuses. So breathe in through the nose and then push the air out through the region of the sinuses. as though the out breath fills the front of the face. So that's before it leaves the body. And then step your feet forwards, come up into standing position, and then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat, turning the toes in. If you've got a kind of an ongoing back problem, then you might want to use blocks for half uttanasana. Otherwise, raise your arms up, lift the chest, put the thumbs into the crease of the elbow, and then hang down. If you've got a back problem, just use blocks underneath your hands, 2 blocks underneath, one underneath each hand, like this, stretching the chin and the chest forwards, activating the legs. Otherwise, just let the head hang down. Activating the legs to lift out of the feet, turning the toes inwards, just feeling the back stretching out. So just maintaining the Udanic breath for the moment. So breathing out through the sinus region, like a flushing action in the sinus region. And then just release your hands down to the floor, and then walk your hands forwards, just going back into dog down. Just flushing the sinus region with the out breath. Letting the head hang down, letting the neck become soft. And then just walk your feet forwards, and then come up into a standing position. So just be in the center of your mat, just lifting and opening the chest. Keeping that distance between the shoulders and the ears. Lengthening the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the ears away from the shoulders. Keep that Udanic breath. So it's this breath that kind of flushes out the sinus region. Stretch your arms out in front, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, don't worry about cracks and pops, and then raise your arms over your head. Maintaining that Udanic breath. Release your arms, swap the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your head. And then release your shoulders. Release the neck, lengthening the neck upwards. And then in Tadasana, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just breathe into the lungs, the pranic breath. Exhale into the lungs, or from the lungs. And then release the head. Just bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step the feet wide apart. Go as wide as you can for Prasarita, for Dottanasana. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift and open the chest, really activating your legs, and then hinging at the hips, feeling the backs of the legs stretching out, feeling the spine extending. Turning the toes inwards if they're turning outwards. Turning the thighs inwards, the fronts of the thighs inwards, so the backs of the thighs broaden outwards. And then if you can go any further, keep the back straight, just hinging entirely at the hips. And then bring the head down. If your head doesn't reach the floor, then put a block underneath your head. And then go back to that Udanic breath, pushing the out breath through the sinuses. So there should be very little weight on the head. It should be keeping your legs hitting back so that the neck can remain long. The head is just lightly supported. And then reach around the outsides of your heels, pulling them inwards. If that puts weight on your head, just bring your hands back to the center, but hit your legs back, flushing the Udanic breath. And then lift the head. Come back to the center. Bring the palms of the hands down onto the floor, and then step or jump the feet back together, and then come back into Tadasana. Breathing Udanic exhalations. So we're going to bring things down a notch and just work with a few kind of lighter, kind of more kind of restorative poses, just because we're trying to kind of clear a headache, and sometimes kind of bringing the head down low is a good way to do that. Just sit in cross legs for a moment and just observe your energy and observe whether your head is still throbbing a little or whether that your head has become a little quieter. So we're going to do a couple of restorative poses that still give you a good stretch, but they kind of work around the neck region. So we're going to do supported side stretch. So have a bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, a flat, a kind of an oblong bolster, then use a blanket. Just fold the blanket up into a kind of a pillow shape, and then fold that in half again, and then you can see it's. I mean, it's not far off the. Once you're kind of using, it doesn't give as much as the bolster, so that you can put that into the kind of armpit chest region. So you'll need a block for just to rest your head, and I'll show you. So you're going to come down onto your side. So you have your. It doesn't really matter too much which side you start first. I'm just doing this side, so this is my left side, but you can do your right side. It doesn't really matter. You can just mirror me. Lift and open the chest, and then lengthen from that hip into the armpit chest, and then come down and bring your shoulder onto the floor, and then support your head with the block. So the bolster should be in the armpit chest region. Just let the knees bend, and then extend your upper arm over your upper ear. So just lengthen the arm, and then just let the arm rest. So in this pose, just continue with that Udanic exhalation, just flushing out the sinus region. So this is a restorative pose, and as such, there's no need to extend. Restorative work brings energy to the physical body through relaxation. So just allow the body to release. So this is really good for releasing tension in the shoulders and in the neck. Just a simple side stretch. Try and breathe evenly into both lungs, even though one side of your lungs is a little restricted by the bolster. Breathe udanically for the exhalation. So remember, relaxation doesn't come straight away, and you have to work at it. So apply the same determination to extend to the same determination to relax. So with restorative poses, as you know, if you've been to the restorative classes, you need to not speak as much so that you just get that silence so you can focus on your own pose. So I'll stop talking quite so much. Which isn't easy. Soften the brain in the skull. Observe the tension around the face. Tension of the skin around the face. Observe the tension of the muscles of the face. And soften those muscles with the exhalation, with that udanic exhalation. And then bring the top arm back to rest on the top hip. Push your elbow that's in the floor into the floor and then come up into seated position. Just sitting cross legs for a moment. Just observe that however gentle that pose was, there's quite an intense stretch that really releases your energy. Maybe both sides of the head feel different, both sides of the shoulders feel different. But maybe your energy feels different as well. Come onto the other side, just onto the other hip, and then again just stretching out the side of the ribs. Rest your arm that's on the floor, rest the shoulder on the floor, rest your head on the brick, and then stretch your arm over your head, over your ear. Cover your ear with that top arm. And then release. Softening the skin, muscle of the face. Observing the tension of the jaw. Allowing the lower teeth to make part company from the upper teeth. in order to keep softness in the jaw, softness of the tongue, softness of the throat. Softly maintaining that udanic breath. Softening the neck and the shoulders, and the muscles around the face and the head. And then raise the top arm, just rest it on the side of the ribs. Push yourself up with the elbow that's in contact with the floor, and then just coming back into cross legs. Just hold onto your knees, just lift and open the chest. Just draw your chin down to meet the chest for a moment. Just observe the energy that you have released through that really gentle pose. And then raise your head. So there's one more pose, but it means we're going to run over slightly. Is that okay? Yeah, Is that okay? Okay. So the restorative pigeon pose is a little bit of a stretch, but it's also a really good way of softening the body. Ideally you need two bolsters for this. So you need one bolster there, and then a gap, and then a second bolster. Now, if you haven't got a second bolster, you just use a cushion underneath. It's just going to support your hips. And if you've got something to kind of support your shins, so like a little rolled up blanket for underneath your shin, then that is also really nice as well. So I'll show you. So you got something. So you got something long ways, and then something kind of sideways, and then you just come. You bring your right knee forwards, and then you bring that right foot over to the side, just like in traditional pigeon. But then your pelvis sits on the bolster, and then you stretch yourself along, and then just let your arms rest at the side of the body. Sorry, the just above the shoulders, hands down onto the floor, and then you let your head rest in the same direction as the knee is pointing. So you just rest the shin on the rolled up blanket if you've got one. Bring the leg between the two bolsters. That's it. And then you just come down, lengthen yourself along the bolster, and then just stretch your head, stretch your arms. Just let the arms rest in a bent configuration, and then rest your head on one side. So this way of doing pigeon is just a really nice stretch for the legs, but again we release into it, we become gentle, we allow the body to relax into the pose. The bolster underneath the chest just helps to soften the back of the shoulders and the back of the neck. Soften the eyes in the sockets. So headaches create tension around the head in unexpected places. Soften the eyes in the sockets. Release in the inner ear. Soften the muscles of the face. Let go of the arms, so that the arms begin to feel heavy yet light. Just releasing into bolsters and into the floor. Soften the jaw, soften the tongue, soften the throat. So this pose helps to soften out the muscles of the back, around the back of the pelvis. And then just bring your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up, and then just walk the back leg in, bring the back leg onto the bolster, and then bring the other leg onto the bolster, and then shuffle yourself off. Just sit back on your heels. So a nice kind of lengthening and opening of the kind of gluteus muscles. So we need to do the other side just to make that even. So just bring the left leg forwards this time, and then bring the foot over to the right side. Bring the leg in between the two bolsters. It's really nice to have a little bit of support underneath that foot. If you can get some, just a little rolled up blanket for the shin. And then just release. Rest your head on the other side this time. Always pointing your head in the same direction as the bent knee. Again, just maintaining consciousness of the softness of the skin and the muscle around the head. Just normal exhalations now, but allow any tension, residual tension, to release with the out breath. Just let go of the out breath like the exhaust pipe that the out breath is. Just observing the physical body and allowing the muscles to relax as though they're made of a jelly-like substance. And then just bring your hands underneath your shoulders, just lift your chest, and then walk the back leg in so the knee is on the bolster, and then just sit yourself back onto your feet for a moment, and then sit on your bolster and come into cross leg position. Just hold onto your knees, lift and open the chest. Just observe the energy that you have released through the more active poses at the beginning, but also the restorative poses that release the shoulders and the hips. Bring your hands into Namaste. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Just be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. Good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. And then spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head and open your eyes. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've maybe stretched out your neck, stretched out your shoulders and your back, and you've given yourself some release from headaches, hopefully. So thank you for joining me.